Larry Sisson, little soy boy leftist guy. He and a bunch of other guys got pushed up because the Democrat Party wanted somebody to appeal to Gen Z. They paid a bunch of these kids to do it. There is like leaks and stuff proving that the Democrat Party has been paying these guys. And you can almost always assume that anybody that is just constantly touting for only one party, and they seem to have the intelligence of a peanut, it's usually gonna be the fact that it's they're paid off and they're doing this for the money. And to be honest, I think that's kind of getting proved here. The dude is kind of skeevy. Now, back when I was sleeping with a lot of sleeping around and stuff, and I was doing the thing, I was very honest, and I didn't really try to lie to people. I wasn't big on lying. I don't like lying. But it seems like this guy just like collected girls like Pokemon cards and then kind of just hosed them over.
Basically, this guy, we all remember this guy, right? You know, the white dudes for Harris, super big Democrat guy. It turns out this dude convinced 11 different women he respected them for more than their bodies while persuading them to send explicit photos of themselves through Snapchat. When the women discovered each other, he called them insane and attempted to coerce them into telling the public that the photos were fake. I'll play some of these out. And so you have one of these virtue signalers.
Dude, that's exactly what I was gonna say, dude. He's been doing this thing for years, like, oh, the right doesn't care about women and the women's rights are so important. But these are the guys that are so skeevy. We got Gen Z Destiny, baby. We got Gen Z Destiny. Let's go, dude. A Gen Z Destiny drop?
Talking down to other people.
But I just wanted to say that America failed women tonight. People voted for it. We failed our daughters, our mothers, our
dude. There's something about like a 12-year-old telling me that we failed our daughters. I don't know. It's just funny, dude. It's just funny. I mean, he's gonna find something that is like bad about what if his side doesn't win. These guys treat it like it's a sports game, which I think is so hilarious. They're willing to just lie to themselves, and there are people on the right that do this too. Don't get me wrong. I hate any of these people that just play one party all the time. It's sad and pathetic, to be honest.
Sisters, our wives, America failed them.
I don't think anybody could comprehend how genuinely terrifying it is to do something like this.
I mean, 11 girls all finding out they're just all side hoes. All of them are.
Found somebody who, at the time, I thought respected me for more than my physical appearance.
Yeah, he's manipulating them. I care about women. I respect women. No, you don't. You say that so you can find more of them. It's like, you know, the angler fish? They have like the little line.
Dude, no, not even an angler fish. I mean, yes, it is an angler fish. But basically, dude, he's just chumming. I don't know if you guys know what chumming is. It's where you take a bunch of chum and throw it in the water and the fish go after it. He's chumming to these bitches, bro. He's just throwing out a bunch of bullshit into the water and they're coming to him because he's attractive and he's pretending to be on their side. It's a grift, it's a lie, and I think it's so funny. And it's all of these type of guys do this stuff. They are the most, they care about women more than anything. They care so much. All these other guys out there are scummy and disgusting when they're the guy. They're talking about the scummy, disgusting guy while looking into a fucking mirror. It's great.
Light in front of them.
When we asked, when all like a fucking dozen of us asked, hey, are you talking to anybody? He lied and that he was not talking to anybody.
Like, have you ever had like a girl you talk to like in text a lot? This guy is doing that 11 times.
Dude, he would lead these girls on to the point where he was telling them how much he cared for them, how they were wifey material. He would never specifically say that we were exclusive, but he would lead them on until he got bored, and then he'd say he didn't want anything exclusive. I remember when I was doing my running around days, right? I would always tell them, first thing I would tell them is like, listen, I don't want anything serious. I'm not ever going to want anything serious. This point in my life, I'm not looking for that. So if you're not interested in that, that's cool. We could just stay friends or whatever, and we can do our own thing. But if you are, and you still want to hang around, that's your choice. This is on you at the end of the day. I used to leave it all on them, and now I had a few girls get mad at me, but for the most part, we would find our own directions really amicably.
That's like doing 11 sets of daily quests every single day. This guy was farming. This is like 40, 50 hours a week he's spending talking to these girls.
God, that ass.
Oh man, white.
Dude, hold on. Dude, how is that? How is that getting the girl, bro? How is... He's like, God, that ass is fat. Jesus, bro. That's so ridiculous, dog. That's so funny. That's so funny, dude. Like, dude. I want to feel bad for these girls, bro. I do want to feel bad for them, but at the same time, you see that shit. God, that ass is fat, and you're like, yes, I'm sending him more nudes. That's what's getting you going.
Dudes for Harris are breaking up. You know what this really reminds me of? COVID Minecrafters. The moment that one of them gets exposed, everybody else immediately in that group just instantaneously roaches out on them.
I'm not friends.
Well, here's the thing. These guys are going to start cutting ties because he's jeopardizing their grift. They're making money on this. This is their cup of tea. They are bringing in tons of cash, and they're willing to just pretend to have whatever values makes them the most money at the moment. And then eventually they start tricking themselves into the mindset that I 100% always believe this. I believe in everything I'm saying. And then they turn into Destiny. But I just wanted to throw shade at Destiny. There's no other reason why. They turn into Hasan, where they have little to no actual thought process behind what they're saying. But it's all a grift. It's all a grift. So in order to keep that grift up, they have to come out and talk about this stuff.
With Chris and Harry.
Damn. It's over.
And that's it.
Wow.
Honestly, right now, I'm tired. I'm defeated. I've gone through so many emotions in the last 2 days.
It's not complicated.
So many emotions, dude. He's gonna have to take some days to reset his mental state, or whatever the gay they talk about now.
He's just a weird manipulator. So many of these cases, these are just emotional manipulators that
Dude, and what's so funny is you look at some of the messages and stuff that he sent, some of the stuff that he's gone through and done. It's exactly what he does in his TikToks and his political rhetoric. It's all manipulation and gaslighting.
Taking advantage of a situation like this while simultaneously patronizing you, talking down to you about their high-minded political values they only hold to attract more of these girls. If you're talking to 11 girls at the same time and lying to all of them, you don't give a fuck about women. Like, what are we talking about?
America failed women tonight, so I'm sorry by what may come.
Dude, and to see, I pulled this up. Now, this is really long, right? This is really fucking long. We're not gonna watch all of this. But I just want to, like, skim through here and just wait until this chick gets all of these. She just starts pulling.
I apologize for my hand tremors. I can't control them. But
Dude,
if you want to pause and screenshot those, these are times in which Harry was getting obliterated drunk and calling, FaceTiming, and I apologize for my hand.
Just I'm gonna put it down to
Tremors, I can't control them. But if you want to pause,
I'm gonna
screenshot those. These are times in which Harry was getting obliterated drunk and calling, FaceTiming, and saying very sexual things to me. I didn't really care. You know, it's whatever. Drunk words, over thoughts.
bro would just get obliterated drunk and start being like, yo bitch, you up, send me them titties though, send me them titties though.
And then this is when I noticed kind of a shift in Harry. He started to gain a lot more attention, a lot more of a following, and he created a Discord, in which it was a very exclusive Discord, and very strange, creepy people were allowed in the Discord. I was in it for a little bit, but I was like never allowed to talk in it, so that's where Harry meets somebody named Camille, okay? I was advised not to, by my father, not to pursue an internship or a job with this Camille guy because my dad said he looked sketchy. Harry decided to go.
This is honestly, I think this part right here is more important than Harry fucking with all the bitches, dude. This is gonna get interesting.
Do so. And this is when I started getting messages from a minor, whom I will not say the name, with autism, who is also in the Discord. He was probably around 14 at the time. And he was sending me some concerning things regarding what Camille would send to him. Those are things I cannot show for legal reasons, but very much so did happen, and I contacted his mom, everything. But you know who was working for him? Harry. And I told...
Dude, Harry was working for a guy who is grooming a 14-year-old.
Harry about everything that Camille was doing. Here's the proof of that. This is a conversation between...
Dude, it's backwards, obviously, so I can't actually fucking read it. Unless I just, like... And it's obviously not great. But...
Camille and the minor in question. Camille texts him, why do they know so many details then? Why do they have screenshots? And in those same texts, you will see him saying he's going to lose a business partner, aka Harry. Now Harry would respond with, yeah, that's super messed up. I won't like work for him anymore. That's crazy. And then I got this message from the minor saying that Harry still is working for Camille. So I reach out to Harry.
Yep. Because he doesn't give a shit about any of this. He doesn't care as long as his paycheck's coming through. As long as his paycheck's not bouncing, Harry doesn't care. He will work for the most seedy, disgusting people possible and pretend that they are the best because he's getting some racks at the end of the day, and he's also getting some pussy in his mouth.
Harry. And this is the conversation from that little debacle. And then it got to a point wherein I was seeing if I should be contacting the police because this minor happens to be based internationally. He's not in America. And I advise Harry that I'm doing so, and he starts advising me not to do so. Through FaceTime audio, mind you. But
FaceTime? I don't understand what the point of the FaceTime audio. Like, oh, because it's not just a regular phone call. Face call audio. It's just makes it weirder. When first time I watched this, I was like, what the fuck does that even matter, bitch?
The conversation about him advising me not to do so. And if you see with all of the other girls too, he loves calling women lunatics. They're crazy. Conspiracy theory. His favorite. Okay, let's continue.
Dude, and here's the trend. Here's the trend I'm saying. It's not just women. He calls anybody who disagrees with him in the political realm like crazy and conspiracy theorists. He's using the same rhetoric he does that these people all follow. All of these people are tricked into it because they can't think any critically. They can't pretend like when you look at somebody, right? You're looking at somebody who's talking about political rhetoric and they're talking about how crazy the other side is. You need to do a little research for yourself. See how crazy. See if they're actually lunatics. See if it's actually conspiracy theory. Don't ever let one person create your whole like mental image of a certain topic. And Harry is appealing to these type of people who aren't going to do any little bit more research.
Oh, here's a random little tidbit, not really related to what I'm talking about, but I figured I'd share screenshots of Harry with my saved inappropriate photos in the chat. See, I am really sitting here admitting that I did send inappropriate, because it was like a fun little fling. For me, this is like less about the romantic part of anything. I don't really mind that. I don't like that they're saved, but like the whole inappropriate photos thing, not really my main issue. The context of it is though, so hold on. So here's me saying point blank to Harry, what's a conspiracy theory? The grooming part of me quite literally finding a relationship with Camille in all of this is suspicious. That's a speculation, not a theory. Anyway, and this is after Harry called me about 20 times and me not answering, and him saying, this is truly insane, like, Candy, you don't know anything about Camille in this entire situation, nor do you know what Chris and I dealt with when it came to Camille. Essentially, like, putting his issues with Camille above the fact that he's literally grooming a minor. Anyway. Eventually, however, I was manipulated into thinking that he was no longer working for Camille. Whoops.
Of course you were manipulated. You've literally allowed him to fleece you this entire time. Now, I feel bad for this girl. And she has done the work in the due diligence. But dear God, it's just like she messages him, yo, the dude who's cutting your checks is like messing with minors. He's like, cool. I'm gonna text you for nudes later. She's like, all right. And then it goes off. And then, of course, he doesn't actually care because he just sees you as a piece of meat.
So then October 7th happens. I don't know if I said this already, but this is also important in the context of everything. I'm sorry, this is so confusing. Everything is everywhere. Okay. So then Harry calls me saying that he's making some federal complaint against Camille. Okay. And I'm like, period, right? So here's that conversation. Essentially, he tells me that 2 other people are in on it. And then I said, okay, we have a little tip path behind us. We're homies now. He then asked me for nudes.
Hey, by the way, we haven't talked in a while. Yeah, I'm going to take down that Camille guy. Show me your tits, please.
Then unsent the message. And that's what I was talking about when I said, tried to get me to send him nudes because he pretended that he cared about the predation. So I said, I saw that, you freak. Are you drunk or something? Okay. But I didn't realize that until way later on because then October 7th happened and we were constantly arguing about that. So here is me trying to call Harry because I was trying to talk to him about, Middle East stuff. He questions. He says he's tired. I say whatever. He goes, you know what it's a perfect time for, though? Referring to nudes.
Hey, listen, I really want to talk about this political thing that we have going on. We both have massive audiences. I think we should get our story straight. Send me a vagina, please, woman. I've had myself an ounce of Jack, and I want to see the crevices of your vagina.
I said, you're funny. Then he unsent a message, and I said, I saw that, you freak. Anyways, then I had a phone call with the minor. He called me at like 10 p.m. I was like, what the fuck? I answer, and he's asking these really, really strange questions, and I'm like, what the hell? Come to find out, Harry and Camille were working together to try to get me to say something. So if I say anything in the future, I'd lose my credibility. Okay. And here, I know it's...
Dude, and you see the tactics that he's applying here. You see, he just kept kind of like... He was trying to goad her. He was trying to goad her into saying what he wanted. When he realized that he wasn't getting in the right direction, he was like, I'll just get some tit pics and I'll be happy. At least I'll get a jerk off. At least I'll be able to bust. I didn't get what I needed to, so at least I'm gonna bust. He's over here being a fucking manipulated piece of shit.
Small, I was trying to preserve ink. And I know it's probably gonna be backwards too, whatever. I'll post these more straight up next time. That is the fake cease and desist I received soon after, for $500,000, accusing me of racism on TikTok because I have anti-Zionist approaches to things, amongst a ton of other insane things, which I will share later on. So I confronted him about it, yada, 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 and if I didn't already have enough proof of him asking me for inappropriate pictures at very inappropriate times, here's more, where I say to him, so true, he wanted me to stop picking an argument with him, stupid, so true, I'll meet you in the middle, next time you want inappropriate pictures, just find someone else and leave me alone next time. He said, yeah, that definitely works for me. So there's him admitting that. Anyways, here's also more creepy text regarding inappropriate photos. I don't remember the context of some of these, so. Now when the creepy texts and threats come in, this is my favorite part. All of these, okay, all of these are all screenshots of threatening texts I got. But it doesn't end there. I have an audio. So I got a phone call from a blocked number when I was home in California. My sister recorded this.
This is great. This is fucking great. This is my favorite part. This is what we're listening to. This is why we're here, baby.
And this is kind of what happened. Who? Don't post anything about who?
Camille.
Who's Camille? I was lying.
Maroon.
Oh, Camille Maroon. Or what? Or what?
Or I'll fucking kill you.
What the fuck, dude? What the actual fuck, bro? Dude, she gets a call from Harry Sisson's boss. Like, this is a random dude. By the way, you should stop talking about that guy. Who's the guy? Camille Maroon. Who's that? You know who it is, bitch. I'll fucking kill you. What the fuck, dude? This is wild. This is like, you know, she's been sitting on this and not wanting to say anything, and then the first time the drama popped, when she saw drama started popping, she was like, yes, I can use this as a catalyst to finally get this out here. Because otherwise, here's the thing with stuff like this, is if she were to just release this, it would probably get like a little bit of buzz, and then it would go to the wayside and no one would talk about it, right? It would be like pushed down, they'd call her crazy, whatever. But the fact that he's got 11 women out there just like going after Harry right now, she's like, I can pull some real shit and post it now, and it will actually get traction. Now, should she have sat on it as long as she did? I don't think so. But the fact that she got a call threatening her life, threatening her fucking life, because she found out that Harry's boss is a groomer.
There's an example. So when Harry and I kind of went dark, you know, like we stopped talking to each other altogether, it was because he found out that I was still talking to this guy I used to talk to. And he called me, told me to go fuck myself. Was just super fucking pissed that was happening. So maybe he thought I owed something to him, but I didn't, and I didn't think he thought I did. I don't fucking know. Also the end all was the loss of my now regrettable friendship with my old friend Molina, whom I have a screenshot on that. This is her essentially ending the friendship with me because I was posting shit about Harry. So, I mean, who knows? I don't know if any of this made sense. I'm really sorry that all of this is backwards in regards to the screenshots. I will be kind of breaking it down in parts, but this is just kind of the full account. There are definitely things that I missed and screenshots that I did not show because it's just I don't have much time left in it. So there's more to the story, but there's just some evidence on some of this stuff.
Damn, bro. Damn, categorically destroyed Harry. Harry's working for a groomer, protecting a groomer, because he's getting paid and it allows him to manipulate women into sending him nudes. That is what I want to get through. I think that this was a good starting point, right? This was a good little thing, but when I saw that on Twitter, I knew I needed something to jump me into that, to bring me to the catalyst of what the real great drama was. And baby, we fucking got it, dude. Harry's working for a groomer while fleecing as many women as he can to show them his boobs. He's like, that ass is fat. Oh, dude, what a legendary downfall. Subscribe, comment, and make sure to keep checking my channel because the downfalls are freaking glorious. Thank you all, and I'll catch you on the next one.